watching KSL News.
Thanks for joining us. Another very busy day in downtown Salt Lake City as we kick off the final day of the All-Star Weekend. We are now just 90 minutes away from tip-off for the main event, the All-Star Game. We have team coverage for you tonight with reporters covering all the different angles of today's events. Well, let's kick things off with Deanie Wimmer, who joins us now live from Vivint Arena. And Deanie, how does it look out there?
Hey, Dan, it's filling up out here on the plaza. I'll just give you a little tour. People are making their way in through security. They're working their way in here. And the first stop, of course, no one's there now, but that's the picture-taking centerpiece where you can get your photo. Over here, you got the 360 photo. You've got fan experiences. And I'm seeing all kinds of jerseys. You've got Team Giannis, Team LeBron, a lot of Utah Jazz jerseys, of course. And people just, in general, excited that this is the big event of the weekend, and it's been a pretty incredible weekend from all the different things you could experience. Now, a lot of the attention has been on the National Basketball Association for All-Star Weekend, but a lot of people forget that players come from all over the world to take part in this, not just the nation. And the NBA and International Basketball Federation hosted the 7th annual Basketball Without Borders Global Camp during this weekend. They finished up today after seeing a single elimination ceremony and an awards ceremony. This event has reached almost 4,000 participants from 104 countries and territories since 2001, and more than 100 participants have gone on to either the NBA or the WNBA. But even before you get to Basketball Without Borders, most players play as kids. In fact, every single player playing tonight in the All-Star Game started as a kid, and many kids like to think about it when you start and you enjoy the game as fun, but then you rise up and you perform at the top levels. They focused on it from a very young age, and a lot of kids dream of taking that same path. Well, new specialist Alex Cabrera today attended the Junior Jazz Tournament, and Alex, I would imagine a lot of those players there had that very same dream.
Yeah, they sure do, Deanie. They all want to be an hour and a half. We will send it back to you outside of Vivint Arena.
Yeah, lots of fun out there, and you're right. A lot of smiles, Alex. Thank you. Now, you know who else is living the dream? And that would be a sports anchor who has the biggest sporting event in the nation, who is having the biggest event in his own backyard. So we're going to go, I guess, not going to sports right now. We're gonna show you something that was really cool this weekend. You know, many of you have heard of Damian Lillard, who is a player at Weber State, and this weekend plenty are showing up to see him. While he's been back in Utah a lot of times during his NBA career, this weekend his return visit was a bit more special, and I'll show you why. Yesterday, his appearance in the three-point contest saw him bringing home the trophy while wearing his custom-made Weber State jersey. He had to get special permission to wear that jersey, but it seems like it was worth it, at least in the hearts of all the fans that were watching him. Those fans were out to see him this morning as he made his way to promote a virtual reality game, and most cared more about seeing him and getting his autograph. Dan, what a way to endear yourself to fans by showing that you remember your roots and you appreciate the home crowd. What a special thing. It's never been done. I was told it's never been done at an NBA All-Star game, but he did get the special permission to wear that jersey.
Yeah, that is so cool. And in fact, I was there last night. What a great event. Thanks a lot, Deanie. And thanks for bringing the excitement there from Vivint Arena. We're excited about the game, about ready to start there. Hey, we're going to turn things over now to Kevin Eubank, taking a look at our weather situation. Kevin is ongoing. An update to the death of a woman and a dog after a storage unit fire yesterday afternoon. Well, that 30-year-old man is charged with negligent homicide and kidnapping after telling police he locked his girlfriend in the storage unit before the fire. Murray Fire Crews responded a little bit before 5 o'clock, finding 6 units on fire. The identity of the woman has not been released, and the incident, again, is under investigation. More wildlife on the move. Park City Police.
Welcome back. You know, Utah businesses are celebrating the big sales they've had this weekend. In fact, the NBA commissioner predicted that this All-Star event weekend would bring in about $280 million to our state. The news specialist Shelby Lofton joins us live from downtown City. She's been talking with some business owners. And Shelby, it sounds like they've been really seeing a turnout in people and a boost in sales.
They really have, Deanie. If you go on, has on our community. Deanie, back to you.
Yeah, Shelby, that is all very encouraging for the economy, and organizers have even said that beyond just this weekend, it can have a halo effect on businesses and economy too. So thank you for that report. Dan, I just talked with the Downtown Alliance CEO, and he said they'll have specific numbers and sales numbers in the next few days, but from all accounts that he's seen, things have gone smoothly and have been very busy. So all signs are really good so far.
Yeah, we like to see that, definitely. Boy, I was downtown here yesterday a lot, walking around downtown, a lot of people out and about. So that's great to see these businesses getting those customers. Thanks a lot, Deanie.
Yep.
We'll check in with you a little bit later there. Well, still to come here. Hey, ever since Hall Pass opened before the pandemic.
It looks good from here.
And let's get back to Deanie. Looks like, Deanie, you're back there at the Vivint Arena.
Hey, Dan, I'm here with Salt Lake Mayor Erin Mendenhall. What a big weekend. What a fun weekend.
It's so much fun, and the weather couldn't be better. But what we keep hearing is people are having a great time. They love Salt Lake City, and they're so happy to be back here for All-Star.
Anecdotally, I mean, I know you've prepared for this for a long time. Was there a moment when you said, okay, it's here, we did it, or?
You know, honestly, it wasn't until the morning of Friday, the tech summit with the NBA, Bill Murray back here in town, the old Trappers owner, and Ahmad Rashad, and at that moment I thought, oh my gosh, this is happening. Everybody's here, we're doing great, and it's been so much fun ever since.
What does this mean for the city? I know the NBA commissioner said $280 million, but beyond just
Tremendous.
that.
Yes, but the economic impact is big. Downtown businesses, local businesses. I know Pago's up 40% this weekend over typical weekends. We keep hearing our best taco shops, Santo and Rock Taco, are just booming at the seams. So it does do a lot for our local businesses. But I think what it is a reminder to us as Salt Lakers that we love hosting the world. We're good at it. It's a beautiful space. It's easy to get around. And a lot of hard work went into this, but I think it's feeling pretty flawless.
You know, we've noted that the last time, 30 years ago, when we hosted this event, 2 years later, we were named the Olympic Big City. And it looks like it could happen again. You knock on wood. But this city is coming to its own.
It is. We've grown a lot. We've grown up a lot also since the 2002 games. I expect another announcement on those games, hopefully within that 2-year timeline as well. But I do think we're going to keep hosting the world. And I hope we see a repeat in less than 30 years for events like this to come back.
Like this. All right, any parting thoughts on the weekend? Anything that you've seen that you're especially excited about?
I think giving a shout out to the accessibility at the Salt Palace for kids and families to get to come out and shoot hoops. It's tremendous. If you haven't come out, go to the Gallivan Center. They're open till 10. It's free, fun events. But come get the energy and feel it.
A lot of ways to get involved. All right, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thanks,
it's a fun
Stevie.
time to be in the spotlight for city residents and
Go
Utah
Jazz.
residents. Go Jazz is right. Thanks. All right, Dan, you heard it. A big event, and by all accounts, going smoothly on this last big night for the All-Star game. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Tina. Yeah, you could feel that energy in downtown Salt Lake City. So great to see. And bringing in Kevin Eubank. You know, Kevin, a lot of people out and about downtown. Hey, they couldn't ask for.
It's a good experience. I think this is going to be very fun for the people outside.
Have a great time, all of you. Welcome to Salt Lake City. So it's just fun to see all who's here. Coming up next, though, we're going to take another look at Damian Lillard's Weber State jersey. It was such a cool thing, and we're going to let you hear from more fans reacting of how they like that. Also, it doesn't look like your typical Sunday in downtown Salt Lake City, as you might have guessed. Several minority-owned businesses are seeing a big boom, an all-star weekend, and we're going to show you more of that. We'll be right back.
Salt Lake City this weekend. We have team coverage for you, talking about everything All-Star. Our sports and news specialists looking at how this is impacting our state. But let's first get on over to Deanie Wimmer, leading our team coverage this evening from the field. And Deanie, I guess the crowds are starting to show up there at Vivint.
steady stream over here. We just have been moving around. We're at the VIP entrance. And you can see the Stockton and Malone statues here. People are taking those pictures, doing their selfies, seeing a lot of Utah Jazz jerseys, of course, and all other kinds of jerseys going on. We've talked to locals, we've talked to out-of-towners, and everybody has had a fun experience this weekend and have had they're really excited for the game. So looking like a fun time. That's what's going on here out at the Plaza. Let's go inside Vivint Arena where Sam Farnsworth is getting ready for the big game. Sam?
Yeah, Deanie, tonight at Vivint Arena, we'll also have post-game reactions from those players as well. We'll send it back to you, Deanie.
All right, Sam, thanks. That's what's going on inside the arena. A lot of people making their way in. But out here in the community, Utah business owners are winning big this weekend as thousands of visitors have, in fact, they expected 125,000 visitors to make their way through the city. News specialist Shelby Lofton joins us from downtown to talk about some of that economic impact. Shelby?
Yeah, Deanie, it may be Sunday in Utah, but those plans. Deanie?
All right, Shelby, thank you. As you're talking about economics and people spending money, a lot of people have come into town looking for NBA merchandise, and they weren't about to leave empty-handed. I've seen a lot of that, people wearing their jerseys and all kinds of different things. They want to pick up NBA All-Star weekend stuff, and they're looking for local vendors for some of their custom things. We've spotlighted some of those custom shoe custom designers and things like that. People selling these items say it's a great way to remember this event. But internet safety experts warn that you don't want to go just anywhere online because a lot of scammers use this event to set up fake websites that look like they sell shirts and swag, but they actually just want to sell and, rather steal your personal information. The pros say to avoid this, go in person or shop online from retailers that you actually know and avoid clicking on those ads that come up in pop up in your browser. One piece of merchandise that has high value this weekend is something that you would have had to have gotten before now, a long time ago, and that is Damian Lillard's jersey from Weber State University. The reason that is getting so much attention right now is that he wore that throwback for his three-point contest appearance. Maybe it's luck of the purple that got him a win in that high-profile event. But for people in the crowds today, throughout the weekend, they were happy to see him rep his roots.
He's a great advocate for Ogden and our community, so I'm here for him. I'm glad they picked him up and they gave him a chance. Now he's blown up and he's representing Ogden.
The All-Star from Portland Trailblazers had a very successful college career playing for Weber State from 2008 to 2012. Lillard won the Big Sky Conference Freshman of the Year and the Big Sky Player of the Year twice before he skipped his senior year to declare for the draft. And he is still the #2 scorer in Weber State history. So we've talked to several Utahns who said they saw Damian and that they mentioned the fact he wore that jersey meant a lot to local Utahns. Coming up after the break, we are going to be back out here. Hi, how are you, Rabbi? Good to see you. We're seeing all kinds of people, but after the break, we'll show you what's going on in these final hours before tip-off here at the All-Star Game.
And a beautiful day.
Hi, welcome back. We're here on the Plaza, and I'm actually on the thing that this is called the 360 selfie zone. People come in through security, they're getting pictures taken because you have to document that you're here, right, for the big game. Well, that's what I'm doing here. We've talked to some of the police officers around. They said this weekend's gone smooth, for the most part, law-abiding. And even the police officers noticed that the crowds here are bigger than they have seen in a long time. There's one thing about Jazz fans that I can tell you. They are loyal and they are excited. The Jazz have had 225 consecutive sellout games. That is one of the highest in the league. That started back in the pandemic. So even though there weren't full capacity crowds, 225 consecutive sellout events. And that's why so many Utah fans here are coming, and they're excited that this event is taking place in their backyard because we love the Jazz and everything Jazz. So it's been a fun event to see. We're seeing all kinds of jerseys. We're seeing all kinds of people. So we're going to send it back to the station. But first, still ahead, you're going to see a lot of young athletes who've been able to take part in the various events that have been taking place. We'll show you the ways that kids have been able to meet the pros and even pick up a few skills.
Hey, thanks a lot, Deanie, and a live look out.
Let's go into the arena.
All right, we're back here on the plaza. We've moved over here to the picture-taking area, and we found a Utah family that we just wanted to grab and say, how have you had a fun time this weekend?
We've had a great time this weekend.
What have you done this weekend? Going to the game, right?
Yeah.
What have you done?
We've been skiing. We went to, what is it called?
The NBA
crossover. Yeah, the crossover event. Have you seen any players or anything like that?
We haven't yet. We're excited to go in and meet players.
Team Giannis, Team LeBron, do you have a preference?
What, Brian?
Probably Team LeBron.
Okay. How exciting is it to have stuff like this in your own backyard?
Oh, we love it. Yeah, this is great. It's a great experience for Utah, and it's 30 years, right?
Yeah,
so,
I know.
I was telling our kids, next time we have a chance to see them, they're going to have grandkids.
They'll have their own kids. Well, have fun at the game. Thanks for stopping to talk with us. That's a sample of it. You know, a big part of the reason we wanted to talk to some Utahns is because a big part of this NBA weekend is making sure that kids get involved and make their own memories. Today at the Salt Palace, more than 300 kids took part in a competition, as well as championships for the Junior Jazz. News specialist Alex got a chance to go over to some of those events. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Dean, you know, the Junior Jazz League, since this is our last All-Star game shot for me, live shot, I'm going to make a basket here, a three-pointer, and if I make this, my bosses have to give me an extra day off, okay? So I'm going to take this shot. Ready?
I support you, Alex.
Oh, I missed it. I guess that means I have to work an extra day. All right, Dee Dee, back to you, Vivint Arena.
I'll still lobby for you to get that day off, Alex. You know, you're absolutely, our producer says no, but I say yes. You know, you're absolutely right. It is about kids because they'll get the weekend to sharpen their skills. They got to interact with players, and some of those memories will last a lifetime. In fact, we've seen people here today who've come back, who 30 years ago did these things and came back with their kids this time. Two Utah charities that are involved with kids will also see the benefits directly. I'm talking about Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Utah, and Raise the Future. Each of them are expected to get hundreds of thousands of dollars from this NBA weekend, and they say that alone is a big game changer.
These are kids who've gone through a lot of rejection, and I think to have these superstars say, again, just say you're worthy, and we want to invest in you, we want you to be seen, we want to share this platform we have with you. This is the ultimate sharing of privilege and power.
Now, that money means a lot to these organizations, but they say that's not all. These kids got experience to work one-on-one with some of the players, and one little girl that was involved said it was the best day she's had in her life. So it's those kinds of testimonials that make you realize the impact it can have. One other impact this weekend was in a group that was especially for girls. Saturday morning, a girls-only clinic leaked up with athletes from the WNBA players and female leaders. This event was meant to inspire them and to encourage them to continue pursuing their dreams.
To be able to work with young women and inspire them and make sure that they have confidence and believe in what they're doing, it's important.
In fact, they even got a chance to hear from Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala about the importance of education. So, Dan, all kinds of impacts we've seen, from economics to inspiration in the younger generation. Those are the impacts that we hope that will move forward in our community long after these NBA games are gone.
That's for sure. Thanks a lot, Deanie. Boy, some great memories for these kids, and what a great opportunity for them to be able to learn from the best. Thanks a lot, Deanie. Well, we'll go ahead and switch things to weather now and bring in Kevin Eubank. Hey, as we've talked about.
Back here on the plaza with a familiar face, Holly Rowe, ESPN commentator and Jazz play-by-play. You had a night off and you're here at the game.
I mean, this hasn't been here for 30 years. I was an intern at KSL Radio with Chris Tunis the last time the All-Star Game was in town. We're going. We're taking advantage. We're so excited, and we're just so proud of how Utah's shown out.
It's been great. It's been great. Thanks for stopping by and have fun at the game tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Love your work.
Thank you. So, Dan, you and I have both seen how this is just, Salt Lake has been different in crowd size. I saw on Friday night almost every hotel light was turned on as I was leaving the city for the night. You saw it also in Gateway. Exciting to see.
Yeah, it is definitely exciting to see. As you mentioned, I was down in the Gateway there last night. It was really cool to see the crowds, the businesses. It seems like there's just a lot of energy there. So thanks a lot for your coverage out there, Deanie. You'll be back again at 10 o'clock. I'll be back. We'll see you then. Have a good night.
A weekend not to be forgotten.
And I have one thing to say. Welcome to the NBA.
30 years in the making.
I'm a win. I told him, I was like, I'm winning tonight.
The All-Stars coming to Salt Lake City.
Oh, so the All-Star games are freaking amazing.
The fans.
This is a really big deal.
The events.
This is a first.
The businesses.
Lowry Martinez.
The players.
Pulled off the championship right here in front of the home crowd.
And the competition.
KSL has been there every step of the way, and now the final night.
These are kids who've gone through a lot of rejection. To have these superstars to say you're worthy.
As we welcome the world to our town.
KSL News at 10 starts now.
Well, good evening. NBA All-Star Weekend is wrapping up right now in downtown Salt Lake City. Now, it has been a 3-day full event for fans and also players to experience All-Star Weekend and to experience Utah. Tonight, the main event, the All-Star Game, where the world's greatest basketball players descended on downtown Salt Lake and took over Vivint Arena. Our Dan Rascone and Deanie Wimmer joining us live from the busy Gateway. So how is it looking out there tonight, guys?
Hey, Ashley, how you doing tonight? Boy, it is still rocking out here in downtown Salt Lake City. You know, we're just across the street from Vivint Arena here. People play basketball, a little bit of music.
So they needed a little extra dose of basketball. Yeah. Game, though, is what drew people from all over the place. A chance to see living legends competing on the floor. Our team of news specialists has it all covered. We'll have more on the game in just a second. But first, this game brought wild crowds to downtown Salt Lake City.
Yeah, they really did. You know, Andrew Adams has been out there talking to the crowds, talking to the people. He brings us this live report. Andrew.
Really was quite the sight and some amazing scenic place Salt Lake City is. Sounds like it went well for everybody.
Yeah, it's still going strong. Andrew, thanks. You know, when would you see people playing basketball on the streets? They just aren't ready to let the party go. And I think as long as our friends at ADM Productions play the music, they'll be out here.
That's right. It's Sunday night. You don't usually see this, as you said, this late in the evening here. Hey, the main event, of course, the All-Star Game. That's the one we've been waiting for. Our JJ, he's inside the Vivint Arena right now, and quite a game tonight, JJ.
It was a special night. This bill that you may have missed, and then some, plus interviews with those all-star players. Can't wait to see you back here at 10:45. From Vivint Arena, back to you guys.
All right, JJ, thanks a lot. Good job in there.
You know, the big winners tonight, of course, the businesses out here. We've seen a lot of people flocking to the businesses, many businesses making a lot of money there, which is great for Salt Lake City, of course. We're going to tell you a little bit ahead how much money the state is bringing in.
Yeah, and then also up next, third time is the charm. Utah favorite Damian Lillard returns to Salt Lake to secure a goal of his own. We'll show you what made last night's NBA three-point contest so special to so many Utahns coming up.
Back to you, Ashley.
Oh, so much fun in downtown Salt Lake City. Dan and Deanie will see you in just a bit. Thank you. All right, let's bring Kevin in. And boy, we had some sunshine. Alcohol were involved. Hundreds of people marched through downtown Salt Lake City to Vivint Arena to bring attention to Utah's homeless crisis. The event was called Hide Us In. Now, organizers say that they're tired of leaders sweeping up Utah's homeless and, quote, hiding them, and want to see more resources made available to help those in need. Well, still ahead here,
welcome back, everybody. We are live just across the street from Vivint Arena. Boy, the All-Star Weekend has been pretty incredible here this weekend.
Such a fun thing to be in the spotlight.
Yeah, we got some people playing some basketball here behind us, little music, kind of things happening still in downtown Salt Lake. But, you know, a lot of tourists, a lot of fans still wanting to pick up that local merchandise.
That's right. Internet safety consultants suggest there are some ways to make sure that you stay safe and get the merch that you actually want. They say the number one thing that you can do is to actually go into some of these local stores and buy it. That way you know your personal information. Stay safe. And the problem is that they've noticed scammers try to take advantage of events like these. They say that they'll set up websites that look like they're selling shirts and bags and t-shirts, but really they're just a front for trying to steal your personal information. So to avoid these scams, they say do not click on the ads for All-Star merch that show up in your social media feed. Now, of course, the jersey that got the most attention today in Utah was one that came long before NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, that's right. I was inside Vivint Arena there yesterday. Got to see Damian Lillard in that three-point contest. Boy, what a show there. He put on his Weber State uniform there. That's what got all the attention there. Lillard wore his Wildcat purple for the three-point contest, which he won. He played for the school back in the late 2000s and early 2010. During his time raking in accolades for the program and conference, he is still one of the highest scorers in the program, naturally building quite a fan base there in Ogden.
He's a great advocate for Ogden and our community, so I'm here for him. I'm glad they picked him up and they gave him a chance. Now he's blown up and he's representing Ogden.
The jersey Lillard wore last night actually was his number from college at Weber State. He said this win, given his ties to the area, was just perfect for him.
Lillard was clearly a strong athlete in high school and in college, but he says he committed to Weber State because they scouted him in his junior year.
Yeah, he was actually inducted in the Weber State Hall of Fame there. Quite an impressive feat for him to be able to do that. Just kind of shows just what some of these young athletes can accomplish.
Yeah, means an awful lot to them. Today, the top junior Jazz teams went head-to-head in their tournament, but even more than winning and losing again is helping them to become better players. Clinics help them with shooting, dribbling, passing, and they learned about being a good teammate.
I think it's really good for them that they get to learn how to get new skills. Yeah, hopefully they have fun and they work hard.
The young athletes there also got to meet some stars. NBA star Paul George stopping by the clinic just yesterday. So that was pretty cool. A lot of the tournament there is just one of many ways that kids can have an opportunity here to get involved this weekend. We saw a lot of that activity happening. Events on the plaza and in the Salt Palace over the past few days amid or allowed kids to get engaged in the program.
And they'll remember that for many years, right? Hey, another memorable moment was when Utah Jazz forward Larry Markkinen gave away 2 of his personal All-Star game tickets. He put the message out on Twitter, word spread like wildfire, and the tickets went to the person who runs the Twitter account, Jazz Nation News. Markkinen says he appreciates everyone's support and he hopes he made everyone proud at tonight's game. Of course he did. We're proud of him and we're proud of all the Jazz players that represented Utah. So what a cool experience for some Jazz fans that got to go to the game unexpectedly.
Yeah, we've heard a little bit about that. Some of the fans actually getting some tickets from some of the players and other people. They're able to get into the game, something they would never be able to do. I mean, it's 30 years since of course, the All-Star game came here, so that's a really cool experience for them.
Yeah, so Ashley, a fun way to wrap up what's been a great experience, a great long weekend. Back to you.
Yeah, super memorable weekend for everyone here in Salt Lake City and the visitors who came to check out our city. Thank you so much, Dan and Deanie. So we know these events have been super impactful with Utah businesses. We're going to check back.
Welcome back. Now that many of the All-Star events are winding down, many of the visitors to our state are heading back home.
Yeah, that's right. Salt Lake International Airport expected to be very busy tomorrow. Around 40,000 travelers. That's not just from All-Star Weekend travel, but also because of President's Day travel. The airport says it has been getting ready for the extra foot traffic, but travelers should plan ahead. Maybe arrive a little early tomorrow.
Yeah, if you do have to travel, don't forget UTA is also offering the 10-0 fare days. That is right now through Tuesday. And that deal includes front runner, tracks, buses, ski buses if you're trying to catch some of that powder. And front runner, all UTA on demand, all of them. Plus, there are services to get people from all of tonight's All-Star Game activities. So as we are winding down, I can tell you that we're already seeing people with their suitcases walking the tracks to catch their airport flight.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of sad, actually, to see kind of the weekend winding down here after a big weekend, but we do see tracks trains still running here. It's kind of neat to be able to see the free ride continue to take place. Hey, coming up after the break, we'll tell you a little bit about how businesses fared this weekend with the All-Star events.
You're watching KSL News at 10.
Well, the main event for All-Star Weekend in Utah has wrapped up, but downtown Salt Lake City is still bustling with action. You can see Dan and Dee Dee joining us outside of Vivint Arena. We saw people playing basketball at the Gateway. How are things looking out there?
Yeah, actually pretty exciting to be able to see something like this come to our town. You know, we kind of begin to see, though, things are winding down.
Things are winding down.
Not seeing the crowds that we used to there.
Right. There's still a line outside the club over there, which you never see this late on a Sunday night. But, yeah.
That's right. But, you know, of course, businesses seen a lot of customers, so they have a lot of reason to celebrate here.
Oh, yeah. The NBA commissioner said he expected $280 million to come into our state's economy as a result of All-Star Weekend. News specialist Shelby Lofton spoke to some business owners who are scoring big.
This All-Star Weekend is a big deal for us.
This Salt Lake City staple is winning big thanks to NBA All-Star crowds.
We get a lot of people stepping off the tracks to come straight here.
Red Iguana manager Colleen Murphy says she thinks UTA's free fare has helped. So have all of the events. Guests are sandwiching in time for a bite at Salt Lake City eateries between contests and games.
Special uptake in the middle of the day where most restaurants would slow down. We saw a lot during that time frame as well.
They've had some high-profile guests come inside, too.
Travis Scott was in over the weekend.
It's not just brick-and-mortar shops and restaurants seeing an uptick.
I would say boosted about 30 to 40% so far. For a week, it's been crazy.
Matthew Haddock's sales have skyrocketed for his online shop, Lit Mercantile.
I was getting a lot of orders this past week leading up to the All-Star game. I didn't know what was going on.
His store, which sells grooming products for men and women, was featured on a list of Black-owned businesses to visit in Utah.
A lot of people found out about the business, about the name, about the website, the social media. So it just boosted my sales for this week.
He says he's grateful to be a Black business owner with Utah roots and a steady customer base here.
The population of African Americans in Utah is very low, so it's very hard to find like-minded African Americans in Utah that have the same passion and same motivation as you have with small businesses.
He says NBA All-Star opened the door for more business.
I am really happy that I am a Black business owner in Utah.
Thank you, Shelby. Yeah, it is great to see that Utah business owners get that boost that's, I'm sure, much welcomed, and we saw those crowds that manifested that. You know, Dan, I was wondering about your experience. I'll share one thing that I saw in my experience tonight, and that is I have never seen such fashion in downtown Salt Lake. There were guys wearing red leather pants, colored suits. There were girls in sequin dresses. It was the fashion statement of the night at that basketball game.
You know, that's pretty cool. And what I've experienced here is a couple blocks, just traveling a couple blocks here, and the crowds and the traffic. And it was so neat to be able to kind of see Salt Lake City come alive again. Of course, I remember the Olympics when they came here. Yeah. It was almost like people were just out and about, kind of enjoying the area and soaking it all in. The music, the energy, and I felt a little bit of that here this weekend in Salt Lake City. So that was really neat to be able to see something like that.
It's also cool to be able to see yours downtown on national TV, isn't it?
There you go.
It's like, there we are. We were proud. It was a proud moment.
All right, we'll be right back after this. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's great to have you. We're just across the street from Vivint Arena, where all the action took place here tonight. Kind of sad, you know, to see
wrapped up now.
The streets are kind of empty right now. You know, things are slowing down a little bit. But before we go, we're going to talk to you a little bit about a cool story here about sneakers, right?
Yeah, we talked fashion statement. Sneakers were all the thing, and we got to show you these. These Nike retro high dunk shoes just released pay homage to Utah's Salt Flats. Served as an inspiration for these shoes. The company's releasing a three-piece sneaker pack dubbed NBA All-Star Salt Lake City. They say Utah Salt Flats are the inspiration for the salt-washed color. They retail for about $135.
Hey, speaking of cool shoes, did you catch yesterday, 5 p.m. newscast there? Our Tamara Vaiafanua showed off her cool kicks. Check them out.
In honor of NBA All-Star Weekend, I had to show off my Air Jordans, so
it's the fit of the day, as the kids say. So there you go. All right. Hopefully I would get a game.
Tamara had some definite street cred wearing those,
man.
right?
She was in on it. I went to the game with her last night as far as the three-point, the dunk.
Yeah.
She knew all the players.
Oh,
she's
the real deal, and she sported her shoes. So hopefully some people got some fun things, merchandise and whatever to remember this event.
Exactly. You know, unfortunately, again, this wraps it up for us for the All-Star Access Pass. It's been great for KSL to be able to be everywhere, all different locations, and we've had a lot of fun doing it.
It's been a lot of fun, and we've worked hard to hopefully show you the party and get you involved so that it could be a community event.
Hey, Olympics is next, right?
We hope so.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Sarah.
Yeah, sad to see this weekend end, but just what a wonderful way to show off Salt Lake City to visitors and to locals alike. Thanks, guys. All right, let's bring Kevin in. We had sunshine today.